It is time for Bronze Barbarians. It's been too long since we've added some more savages to our numbers as we dip deep into the elo pool and come up with something special here. Let's hop in for this. I'm hyped. I'm excited. Now, admittedly, Bronze Barbarian Standards has gone a little bit funky recently because the rank changes. Now, this guy, at the time of recording now, I believe is around, like, gold rank. But remember, the elo just got inflated, so, like, at original time when we got past this, like, I think it would be fair to say that he was appropriately, like, barely scraping silver, if not in bronze, which is why I'm willing to make an exception for us here, because this is going to be something special. Now, I see Bergie here might end up with a different nickname, because Icy Bergie is the corner boy. Now, for anyone familiar with Age of Empires 2, that name might mean something to you. Just actually, even without that information, you might be able to very quickly clock what corner boy does. Corner boy likes them corners. He likes to scout them corners. He likes to sniff them corners. He likes to whittle his tushki into those corners and exist in them. And from what I've heard, this guy loves to go to those corners. Not just one corner, though. No, he's a corner enthusiast. He's that type of person that turns up in a room and everyone says, take a seat. And he's like, great. He'll take the seat over on the left, but then he'll move to the one on the right. He can't help himself. He's infatuated. If you've been on the seat, he wants it. Or he wants it before you can even think about it, because that's what good old Icy Bergie here is famous for. He likes to go to these corners. But funnily enough, Ryan Yuan has beat him to the punchline. But make no mistake, folks, that's going to be the focus of this one, because I've been told that this guy, Icy Bergie, who is 811 elo rating in quick match. That's his highest in 3v3s. It's pretty low. This guy on this account has a respectable number of games, maybe like 100 or so. Not too many, but enough to start compiling data, crunching the numbers. And I've come up with the numbers that this guy, if he was on a football team, he would be the guy that always heads over that corner to try and send one into score. But given his win rates, quite often that ball gets cleared in the football metaphor, because when I say that he likes the corners, I mean he likes to go to there with his landmarks, with his TCs. He will regularly play towards several different corners at once, and I've been assured that he does this on a regular basis. What will Ryan Yuan do? How will Ryan Yuan handle this? Because this is Hill and Dale. Nobody goes to corners like that. He's the deli. He dictates where everyone goes, surely. We'll have to find out in this episode of Bronze Barbarians. So, hopping in early, we already see that Ryan Yuan has gone out onto the deer, and he cancelled the mill on the berries. What? This guy's a carnivore. This guy is a protein enthusiast right here. He's the guy who turns up in the gym and talks about gains 24/7 and how you need to make sure you got enough red meat in your diet to want to punch a dolphin in the face, because if your testosterone levels aren't off the charts and your protein levels aren't no longer T, then you simply don't care enough about your body. Which is why he's making sure the deli are going to be strong enough. They're going to have not the greens, all right? No one cares about 5 a day here. More protein equals more muscle, which is an interesting choice to make, considering you gather berries quicker than deer. Yes, you heard me correctly. I'm familiar with this. If you go on the berries, I believe it's 0.88. The deer here are 0.83. So kind of missing out on something a little bit more juicy. But let's be real here. If I offered you a plate of berries or a pristine, prime slab of venison, which one would you sink your teeth into? Ryan already knows the answer to that. Ryan is already on the stone. What? Wait, why is he on the stone? He's not going for an outpost rush, right? Okay, he probably wants the static defenses, so he's going to play your standard kind of movement. He's on the go! Icy Bergie into the corner. This guy I'm not sure how this... Like I said, he's either a big football enthusiast or he's a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 player going for a tactical nuke. But whatever it is, he loves the corner. Corner 1 marked. Chamber of Commerce going up as well. Yeah, you heard that right. You're going to have to bleach your eyeballs, but you are indeed seeing a Chamber of Commerce on Hill and Dale out of the front. And I don't know if he plans to trade or if he just likes the free marketplace, but whatever it is, he's allergic to knights. And folks, there's a reason we usually don't see this. You know, donkeys are cool. I think we've all seen Shrek by now. We can admit donkeys are cool. But when war is on the table, when you've got to win instead of dance and sing your way to victory, who are you going to trust? A donkey or a horse? That's why everyone goes to School of Cavalry. Because that's where your horses learn to be warriors. Because they'll be produced 20% quicker in all your stables. This? It's just a donkey. Donkey's a bit more reliable and carrying some extra resources, but that's it. That's as good as it gets. It's as good as he does. That's all he offers to you. That's why we never see it. And we're going to have to see if he gets punished appropriately for it, because Ryan Yuan is already in burning the gold. But don't worry, folks. Icy Bergie doesn't need that anymore. Corner Boy doesn't care, because he's got donkeys now. He can just sell for gold, and he can just build donkeys. And what's a Delhi player going to do? Eat more deer? Pfft. Build scholars? Pfft. Static defenses? Pfft. Unless you're going to put those static defenses in his base, how's that going to get in the way of trade? Answer, it's not. And now Yuan is going to stonewall himself in, because he's worried that if he doesn't stonewall himself in, Icy Bergie can very optimally move from this corner to this corner. It's very important that he doesn't allow this. And now Icy Bergie is going to be going on the town center in a very interesting place. Now, some people would want the wood and the berries, but Icy's not a rude dude. He is French nobility. He has to at least pretend that he's a gentleman. And therefore, it would be rude to take the berries away when there's a Delhi player at the table. It's like when you go to a dinner party and you sit down and you start looking like, you get the food served on the table and you realize it's a Mediterranean type serving. And there's hummus and you love hummus. But then you know there's like a vegetarian and 2 vegans at the table. And you can't really go for the hummus. Because if you go for the hummus, that's just rude to them. Like, there's all these meats. There's the lamb. There's the chicken. You can get your protein gains. Would it not be rude to take all the delicious hummus away from the vegetarian? That's why Icy Bergie refuses to. Instead, he's going to eat rocks. Although he would be literally eating rocks if he was a high level here. Let's see if he gets away with this long term. Gathering on the stone. Dare I say that we could be seeing more town centers? Because Icy Bergie here. Oh yes, that's right. Into the other corner he goes. Under the gold. Because, folks, you have to be optimal with the way you spread out your economy. It would be silly for you to stick, like, everyone in the same location going for gold, wood, food. Like, each town center serves a different purpose. You got your stone TC, you got your wood TC, you got your gold TC. Clearly, Icy Bergie at that dinner party is the type of person that doesn't like anarchy on his plate. His meat, his mashed potatoes, and his bean sprouts all have to be in their own little sector. And don't ask me why there's mashed potato at a Mediterranean dinner party. I have no clue. All I know is Ryan is not going to be inviting Icy to his dinner party. He is going for the full Woolen. And it is going to be matched. I know. What is this? Is this possible? I didn't think it was. Pros don't do this. Well, it's because it's not allowed in competitive. So they don't bother. But you are indeed able to build stone walls in feudal age. Now, I know that sounds very weird. Feudal stones does seem logical, but we never get to see it. But in treats from Bronze Barbarians, it's in full swing. And I gave you the rank for Icy Bergie down at like 800 elo. I never gave you the rank for our secondary competitor here. And that just seems rude to me. So let's actually have a look in on what Ryan Yuan has got to offer. Ryan Yuan, if I load him now, is actually 856 elo in the quick match 2v2s. Now, his rank of recent, he's been on a little bit of a climb since this match occurred. He is up at Plat 3. But I don't, once again, elo inflation on ranks because Relic decided everyone likes shinier medals. And also, no. I will take the quick match elo, which has a lot more games involved. And I will put him in the same range. Like, you've got to be getting this for a reason. For those wondering, like, why are we looking at gold? Why are we looking at a gold guy over here in Icy Bergie? Well, until Relic decides to fix whatever the hell is going on in the matchmaking system, I've given a little bit of wiggle way. Now, I won't go up into Platinum and beyond very often, but this seemed like on the edge of it. And I just need to see Corner Boy. Like, this guy is true to his form. He's moved into the south corner as well. Oh my god. That's 4 TC French. And that isn't your standard 4 TC French. That is an abomination right there. Well, I'll give it to him. He's definitely set up the border patrol. You could not get through to the real French territories behind him without him seeing here. As he extends his influence, still, Ryan Yuan is parked on his high ground. And folks, this isn't any Delhi player. No, this isn't your go for sacred sites. He wants to feel like he's earned it because, you know, something doesn't sit right with Yuan. You know, although scholars may help educate his people, they're not the religious element they usually are for a Delhi. See, he's a pragmatic man. He believes in what he can feel, and what he can feel is hard, solid gold in his hands as his workers work. If he goes to a sacred site and he captures it, where does that gold come from? Have you ever considered that? Does it make... I want you to think about it for a second. Do the gold nuggets fall from the sky? Oh, surely they would hurt you. Do they just randomly appear at this location? Why would they do that? It doesn't make sense. Ryan has seen no reason other than playing Age of Mythology to believe in gods. Therefore, sacred sites are heresy. Ironically. And therefore, he will only get his gold the way that makes him earn it. Or the gold thing. Icy Bergie. I was about to check that food. Looks like he hasn't got enough food to keep this up. Icy, I know you're trying to leave the food for the vegetarians at the party. It's very honorable of you, but I do believe it would be worthwhile getting the berries. Oh, no, we got another red meat enthusiast. This has turned into a protein showdown right now. Looks like that is going to bolster him up, though, so that should leave him a little bit safe. And he is starting to switch into farms now because, you know, the venison is good, but it's a little bit gamey. I find, like, having a nice chunk of bread to go with it is quite a nice thing. And, of course, you know, sometimes you want your bread to be golden brown. And it seems like Icy Bergie misunderstood the ingredient required to make golden brown wheat because he's built his farmlands right next to the mining camp. Which is fine. He's on the high ground. He's protected. We're playing Stronghold here. It's not Age of Empires 4. Don't be silly. As both players have successfully enclosed their keep. And another sin that we do not see at high-level play, for it is banned. The Stonewall Towers coming out very slowly from Ryan Yuan, trying to make an impenetrable fortress. While that's happening, it looks like Ryan is finally moving out for the sacred site. He heard what I said about giant golden nuggets falling from the sky, and he said, you know, that sounds quite fun. That sounds like being, I don't know, some sort of whack-a-mole character, dodging out shots coming in, an evasive type game. He wants to be a part of it. So he'll move out. He'll get a sacred site. Giant chunks will fall from the sky. And some people might be crushed, but at the end of the day, you know, losing your nan to a giant golden nugget so you can then afford a mansion. There's worse ways for things to bow out. And now Corner Boy. Because it's very important that you teach your horse not to retreat. And the best way to treat and teach horses that they cannot run away is by putting them up against the edge of the world. Because, as horses are astutely aware, the earth is flat. And you can't just run off the edge. So they have no choice but to run forward. This is very smart. From a young age, French knights are trained to never retreat. And this is how you achieve it. And it's quite the phenomenal, considering that modern-day French are very familiar with retreating. Okay, that was a cheap shot, admittedly. Are the donkeys working? Oh, they are. They are, Papa. They are. Although Icy Bergie has not put a wall up yet. So, as it stands, the donkeys are going for a perilous route down the center of the map. But it's not too dangerous this time around because Ryan is only playing the southern sacred site. Because he's accepting religion, but at a reasonable pace. You don't want to take over your life, so he just wants to make sure it exists. And once he sees proof of the golden nuggets falling from the sky, maybe he can afford to have a few cousins crushed by those golden nuggets as well. Those golden nuggets are going to pay pretty damn well. Price of a life. It's pretty damn high here. There's 150 gold coming through for each of these sacred sites. But Icy Bergie says no more. Or however you say that in French. No more. Close enough. He will wall this in. Although, by doing so, he will not cripple the donkey's ability to do donkey things, folks. Instead, he will make sure they take the right path round the back. Because Icy Bergie has done this before. Once again to highlight, he loves his corners. The Guild Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, that is now 3 corners acquired by Icy Bergie. Only 1 to go. And then, as we know, between that and your town center, you will have formed Exodia. And your opponent will have no choice but to GG out the game. That's how it works. That's the rules. You don't like it, take it up with the developer, but that's not up to me in the meantime. Let's get on with the game. Will he do it? The man, the myth, the legend, Icy Bergie, who is now very quickly earning the title of Corner Boy. Is he going to drop a red pass here? I need it. Maybe, I could probably accept a College of Artillery as well. That's acceptable. Uh-oh. What is not acceptable is, where's your wall building crew, Corner Boy? You can't have a corner if you let them take it for free. And it seems that he whoopsie-daisied this one. Seems the French workers went on riot here because they're nowhere to be seen and the Lancers are in. And ironically enough, the Delhi have more heavy knights than the French. I don't get to say that often. But you know what? In fairness, the Delhi do not have more donkeys than the French. So now who's the real ass? Well, to find out. The donkeys are going to find themselves in a dangerous territory. A lot of gold is going in for Icy Bergie. And it's going to be highlighted that, weirdly enough, with these two players, it's not gold that they lack for tech ups. It's food. Which is kind of bonkers when you think about it. Especially with the build-up for Ryan Yuan. Like, now it's understandable the elephants, but before, I would have at least understood Icy Bergie with his 4 TCs, putting quite the strain on his eco. But it seems like he's mostly past that. Income looking positive. Imperial Age just on the horizon. Now, Ryan Yuan shouldn't want this game to go too long. He needs to sense the corners. He needs to feel the corners. He needs to overwhelm the corners. Because if this goes too late, not only is Corner Boy the French versus Delhi, which favors the French in Imperial, but also Corner Boy has 3 corners. Now, 3 corners is more than 1, so logically he wins. But on top of that, he does have his donkey boys bringing the goods. Only 3 of them, but from humble beginnings, folks. From humble beginnings. Corner Boy. Another interesting detail is, whether intentional or not, he's taking away the safest wood from Ryan Yuan. Once Ryan Yuan is done with the wood in his base, he's going to come out here looking for something. And all he's going to find is a bunch of filthy French peasants taking his goodies. And those filthy French peasants are now going to build the Red Palace. Exodia is almost activated. One corner to go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can confirm that this is most definitely Age of Empires 4's corner boy. Look at him. Marvel at his magnificence. The most worthless Red Palace you have ever seen. But true to form, he has taken to the corners like a true champion. And also the housing on the edge, because as we know, similar to the whole, knights, horses, you don't want them to learn how to retreat, so they can't retreat because there's none behind them. Same with your villagers. When they go out from their house, they have two choices. Labor in a society that undervalues you, or walk off the edge of the map. It's an easy choice to keep them aligned there. Also, you wouldn't want to use the high value area for your housing, right? Could you imagine giving these peasants the pristine land? Like, if the world is flat and the edge is going to go first when it all crumbles, surely you want to save the central land for the important stuff. But you know what? This world will never fall, because Icy Bergie has anchored it with his landmarks in each of the corners. It will exist for all eternity in the skies. As will his base. Holy crap. Icy Bergie has yet to build any military. Okay. No, not true. He has built 6 knights on the opposite side of the map. But this is the two-pronged assault, folks. He's going to build knights on the north and south side. And then he will strike. A pincer maneuver that Ryan Yuan will not be ready. Okay, he's got wolves. If he bets siege, and he has, then he will not be ready for this. And folks, Ryan Yuan is playing very chill and passive for a guy who's playing a civ that does next to nothing by going Imperial. But Ryan Yuan has a secret. Elephant beat horse. And that's the logic I can get behind. And now I'm starting to wonder, how does Icy get to the final corner? What does he build in the final corner? Do you build a town center? A keep? A keep could be very good for the French. A keep that he's now building in the other corner, but oh, wow. It would go against his build order if he didn't fully commit to the corner, so... Wait. He's done it again. He's done it again. Where are the villagers? What? This is smart, actually. So just to explain what Icy Bergie has done here, he was waiting to see if any units from the enemy army came through so that he could get them as close as possible, then complete the build and surprise them. But it seems that he's identified no one's coming. He's going to complete the structure. And Icy Bergie will control his corner. And he will get a remarkable level of discount. Look at this, guys. Two of these stables are cheaper. Now, admittedly, there are 9 total. But 2 are cheaper. That's almost a 20% saving. Pretty good. That's just over a 20% savings. Really good. And I'm starting to wonder if Icy is aware that these keeps do give a discount, because it's very easy to forget about this. You know, when you've got a checklist of things you want to do when you're playing a game of Age of Empires 4. Get economy, build in the corners, build in more corners. Don't forget the other corner. It's very easy to forget these keeps do give a discount in their influence of 20%, 25 at this stage. Looks like Icy's at least remembered the walls as they're going to start to go up. And I'm wondering what Yuan is waiting for. Does he feel lost? No. He's found his way into Imperial. And then this is my favorite part. Instantly, the moment the tech up comes out. All right, boys, get on your horses, get on your elephants. It's warring time. Bruh, you do know that those tech ups don't come through anytime soon, right? It's going to take a while. Corner boy. While not in the corner, he's looking for the corner between these elephants. I don't know what these knights are doing right now. I am so sorry to the equestrian community here. My Little Pony fans, I had nothing to do with this. Did he click? Oh god, I think he clicked on one elephant at the back. Oh god, he done it again. He done it again. Corner Boy seems to be astutely aware of how corners work, but not so much of how the corners of his A key on his keyboard works that would allow him to attack click here. And that's unfortunate, because an attack move would probably put a bigger dent in the deli than this. But don't worry, folks. Never doubt Corner Boy, because the brilliance of playing into every corner is that when your opponent strikes in one location, you can come from the other. And ladies and gentlemen, Icy Bergie is ready to do that. He'll need the trebuchets that he's randomly packed up in the archer ranges because they make good camouflage. I couldn't even see them straight away. He's got his knights at the ready. They'll have to move fast because right now, Ryan Yuan is going for the triple cap sacred site. Icy Bergie is going to zero on the food. What is happening here? Too much strain for him to rebuild the army. Didn't sort his food well enough. In fact, you can see the mistake that's been made here. He has 25 workers on food and 54 on gold. Because, yeah, Corner Boy. He wants to work in from the corners. And, of course, you know, food, it's not there to begin with. The farms have to be set up later. I don't know. Okay, he does know about the influence. Because he's getting hand cannoneers. This isn't a bad play, to be honest with you. He's got a lot of gold to work with, so I've seen worse. I quite like it. Hand cannoneers can completely screw over the elephant, so Corner Boy is truly a Call of Duty quarter camper at this stage. He's even got his guns. And what is the response for Ryan? Well, Ryan did build the madrasas, but decided that right now it's break time, right? Term isn't on. All the students are at home. They've gone home to their families. Nobody's in the university, so it just doesn't make sense that they should be studying. Like, who's going to be studying? Yeah, all the lecturers on a holiday, everything else, it just wouldn't make sense. So instead of bothering to get any of these good upgrades, he's just going to wait for them to all make it back. School's out for the summer, folks. Now, crawl in. Scholars with the boogaloo. Way too fast. Now, Icy Bergie. Cold as ice veins here, folks. Unthreatened. Unfazed. It's only one corner after all. And he still has plenty where that came from. Because the trebuchets are on the move. In fact, I'm going to speed this up a little. I wonder if we could experiment with this. This is a little bit slow at the moment. Actually, no, I don't feel it is. It's just we don't understand the way that these guys process action. They're doing it. They're making their way through. Ryan Yuan now grabbing the stone, looking to go even deeper. As he'll clean up the northern base, he will discover the guild hall. The question is, will Ryan turn his head and go, that looks a little bit weird? Is there a reason why he's in this corner? Is it possible he's in another corner? And is it possible that Ryan can learn about sacred sites? You know, actually, maybe what Ryan's thinking here is like sacred, once again, he was willing to accept that golden nuggets fall from the sky. Okay, that's one thing. But to say you just win by divine intervention doesn't make sense to him. So he won't go for the third sacred site because that goes against everything Ryan believes in. Golden nuggets falling from the sky, though, that was totally acceptable. Housing crisis in France is also acceptable, but oh my. Elephants at risk of going extinct here. Hand cannoneers, that is not something you want to approach. Ryan Yuan will have to back away as Icy Bergie reveals his evil, sinister gunpowder plot. The good news for him is that these guns are held by old men, so they will not be able to chase that well. We'll be able to back away. But while that's happening, the goose is cooked. Red is going in. Corner Boy from the opposite corner, now moving in. And folks, he has enough for 1,000,000 keeps. He has enough to create a keep corner here. A little L shape in his opponent's base to let him know what's coming, because he's in onto the food lines, and Ryan Yuan is in the wrong location. Completely wrong location. Icy Bergie going in with the keep. He needs to not only be in the corners, he needs to be on both high grounds. He's going to be achieving that with this backwards keep. Moving in onto the primary TC. A lot of damage to come. Elephant's not able to hold. And look what... Okay, he did split up. I had to check with him because Corner Boy has had an issue with remembering to finish off keeps. It looks like he's going to build multiples at once, though. And now the torch down onto the town center. Full garrison in there. But look at the pitiful damage they do, because nothing can stop Corner Boy. You see, the amazing thing is that his Knight's shields have so many corners on them, they deflect any arrows coming in at angles. I think that is how geometry works. I know how counting works, though. That's a landmark in each corner for Icy Bergie. And only 3 landmarks remaining, all on Ryan Yuan's high ground. Another keep going up. He's not going to be stopped here. Torching down. He's going to get rid of all the relics, because he did let Ryan Yuan have 5 relics, but that was on a loan basis. And I'm afraid Ryan Yuan has failed the repayments there, so he must pay a price. All 5 relics on the ground and available, and pushing even deeper. Everything being torched down. Now, Yuan finally realized sacred sites are good for victories, but one key detail to keep in mind is all your landmarks are now exposed. That might be a tiny problem, considering that sacred site victory is still about 8 to 9 minutes away. Nonetheless, Ryan will not give it that easy. He's going to set up a keep defensively in his own base next to one of his final landmarks. Madrasas now being targeted that don't even need to be targeted, because all they're going to do is remind Ryan that he can actually research in them. I found that's the beautiful thing in life. You never really realize how much you want something until it's going, and about to be gone. As he never even garrisons these madrasas. He doesn't even get in the good research rates. He's still 13 minutes away. Knight's in the meantime. Only the backup keep here, as Ryan Yuan tries to stabilize, and it looks like the Knights are distracted by the big, shiny, giant piles of wood that seem to be firing rocks at them. Goes against everything they stand for. They will stand no more, so it looks like he's able to hold for the moment. Hand cannoneers are now wrapping around, but oh, no, 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 no. While Ryan Yuan has mastered golden nuggets falling from the sky, Corner Boy doesn't know how to deal with basic nuggets falling from the sky here, as the rocks will be able to wipe out the hand cannoneers, and it looks like he is going to be set back, but not for long. You see, this base now belongs to Corner Boy, because if he wants to get to the final corner, he does have to go through here, and you are in the way. In he goes. This keep drop, as aggressive as you can get. Trebuchet not paying attention just yet. Villagers are in range, but the keep isn't going to last long enough to punish him for it, as the trebuchets are looking to bring it down. Repair crew a little bit too weak for Ryan Yuan, finding it difficult to stabilize. Just about keeping it out of being on fire. Maggot, no shots looking good. Ryan Yuan deciding that they need more stones, so he wants to give it to him. Not in the form they usually accept, though. Like when you turn up in a shop expecting them to accept card and they only accept cash. This time, it's like Icy Bergie's going to be the one cashing out. Last of his villagers going down, torching a few farms, but another keep up, and Sacred Site now being decapped as a second wave of hand cannoneers move out. Remember, Icy Bergie can come at you from 2 different fronts. Thus is the myth, the tale of Corner Boy. He doesn't strike from one direction, he strikes from all directions. And it feels that way for poor little Ryan Yuan here right now. He built up the walls, he felt confident he wasn't going to be breached, but did not expect this, never even scouted it. And I don't think anyone's getting their hands on those relics anymore, folks. I think those are very much comfortably out of Ryan Yuan's reach. Especially when he only has 1 trebuchet. A lot of elephants, though. Could do some serious damage. Now, the question is, what's next for good old Corner Boy here? Of course, the cannons. I was wondering if they were going to make an appearance here. The natural predator of the elephant, and also all these static defenses. Keep's going to go down. He can start to snipe out whatever he chooses as well. He chooses to snipe landmarks. He wants to win this game fast. Only 2 remaining for Ryan Yuan. Another one down. Siege coming out. Could be insta-snipe. Springles on a journey. Ryan Yuan decided to enter ramming phase. And the scholars, you can't convert those, even though one wants to follow you home. It's like a stray dog right now. It's like the cannons are going to be backing away. Somewhat scared of the elephants, even though you can turn around and blow them up. And remember, cannons are very good at taking out elephants. 200 damage, only 6 of that damage being negated. Looks like he's a little bit too paranoid. Instead, he says horses must overcome their fears of elephants. If they don't, they can never rule the world. Mini cannons in the mix. Hand cannon is here. Skull's now targeted out. Ryan Yuan isn't given over easily. He has once again got all 3 sacred sites. That might draw the attention of Corner Boy. Although keep in mind that 2 of these sacred sites are located next to corners, which is just giving a home field advantage at this stage. I just love how he's made this his own base, but he's not even going for the quick finish. The crazy part about this right now is if he wanted, Corner Boy could just wrap round to the west side, stand next to this keep, and then blow up the compounded defenders. But because he doesn't, Ryan is going to get an opportunity to stay in this game. As another keep does go down. Still not even a monastery, by the way. I gotta say, if there was anything that would tempt me to build a monastery in my opponent's base, it's seeing this. That's 5 relics right there. That would be an easy 500 gold per minute, but what does Icy Burgie care? What does Corner Boy care? It's not like he's out of gold. Oh, wait. He is very much out of gold. That might be a small problem. In fact, I'm getting the feeling this might slow down because Icy Burgie doesn't have gold. And he hasn't fixed that yet. Even though he has the means to all around him. Cannons are back in though. Tunnel visioned upon the keeps once again. Oh god, no, not the hand cannon. It's not like that. That was ugly. Let's let them stand their ground here as they try to take out more Elephanto fun time. And now the cannons. Nice snipe out straight away in the Mangonels. The elephants are trying to impeach upon their territory. Turns out that when the cannons stand there and get headbutt in the face, it tends to favor the elephant quite well. Not the while, by the way, Ryan still has plenty of surplus resources and is sustained on the wood, which is weakest by this extension. Something that Corner Boy hasn't done anything about. It's just been kind of parked here. With a decent amount of idle eco as well, actually. I like how I idle through and it only shows me these ones, even though there's more than 18 people idle. What? Maybe they're garrison. Oh, whilst the villagers garrisoning the side, a lot of the base just gone. I'm impressed that Ryan Yuan hasn't GG'd out yet. Like, it's not to say this game isn't, in some way, to some degree, like there isn't an opportunity to maybe come back. But it is very difficult at this stage. It looks like Corner Boy, is he finding gold again? Oh, he's back on a new gold line. He's stacking up, needs to build more villages, and looks like he has waypointed them over, so should be able to shift forward in the coming minutes. He even yoinks the gold from where Ryan Yuan is getting it. And that should fuel the war machine back into the base. A few knights torching down the farms, but it's like Ryan Yuan doesn't care for it right now. In fact, how big is the eco for Ryan? Only 47, but that's going to sustain him because although he's not gaining much ground, he's not losing much either. So we're going to go to 4 times to try and speed this up, see where they move out. Trebuchet's now focusing on the keeps, repairs coming out, and should be good enough. With only one Trebuchet here, you don't really outdo the repair rate. You need 2 or 3, and right now, a problem for Ryan Yuan is he's running out of wood. In fact, he might start getting raided over here. Hand cannon is in the mix. Our siege workshop's going up. Looks like Corner Boy wants to stake his claim in the northern corner again, because Ryan Yuan's getting a little bit too close to it. Villagers even coming out to make sure he's got enough to build more keeps if need be. Now, I wonder if this is because he wants to build more keeps or because he thinks that keeps take stone to repair. The good news for him is soon they will, so he's just ahead of the curve if that's the case. Repairs coming out. Villagers. Oh. Looks like it's too much. Double trebs. A little bit too overwhelming. Keeper's going to go down, but luckily for Corner Boy, he has one more, and all that's going to do is push him closer to the other corner as he's almost there. Oh, no! Come on! Delete the wall. Let him through. Let him show you what he's made of. Let him show you his true potential. I want him in that corner too. And the walls went back up. Ryan snuck out. And it looks like Corner Boy needs to put that gold to good use because now it's not gold that is the limiting factor. It's wood. Actually, where is he getting wood? Is he getting wood? I don't think he's getting wood. Oh. Oh. Okay, he's fixed it now. 46 people across on the wood. Ryan's a very kind of like one after the other sort of person. Systemic type person, you know? Most people, they try to get 2, 3 different resources at a time, and it's an information overload. It's too much to track. Wouldn't it be easier if you just focused all your efforts on getting one and then moving to the other? You know, like, don't you want to try and optimize your happiness in life, followed by your financial well-being, followed by finding love? No, okay, you want to do them all together. That does make more sense. But in this situation, would it make sense for Corner Boy? Maybe. He could probably have more consistent pushes of troops. Alternatively, he could just try and dictate the flow. Maybe he believes that this is what Ryan Yuan wants the most. So he takes that resource away and makes sure that he can never have it. Although, in fairness, Ryan Yuan is always getting the center. In fact, it's the only thing that Ryan is getting at this stage. He has 3 people on food. 3. He has, luckily for him, rebanked all of those relics. And he is getting the Tithe Barns. And I think that might be what keeps Ryan alive. For the moment. Because Corner Boy isn't done yet. Remember what we saw a second ago. Corner Boy is trading. And unlike Wham, it's not going to get snitched out. And it's also going to stockpile pretty quick. 9 traders already, more to come. It looks like Corner Boy is putting that corner to good use. This keep is hurting me. This keep is hurting me. This keep is hurting me more than Corner Boy just hurt Ryan's base. I think that's the best way to describe it. Speaking of hurting Ryan, looks like his extension base is in trouble. Villagers, gun, meat, knife, not good for knifey knife. At least not in an open battlefield. We'll have to back away. Elephants will at least be there to stabilize him a little bit. But remember that Ryan has very weak food. He's not looking to feed the world. He can barely feed his elephants at this rate. And that's going to slow down his production rates. Has continued to do so as Corner Boy once again stacking up trebuchets. Short-sighted trebuchet. Miscalibrated. Didn't have the range. It was one of those prototypes. I think I came up with enough excuses there for why trebuchet just walked all the way up to a wall and then died. Let's see if the next trebuchet can get it right. Let's see if he's going to build the next trebuchet, because I don't think Ryan realizes what just happened there. Also, he's spending way too much gold elsewhere. Kind of like 2 times speed. 2 times speed is nice, right? Maybe we should just make this our default format. It's underrated. Decap coming out. Even less gold for Ryan Yuan. And then gold is the only thing he really has at this stage. And after all this said and done, Ryan Yuan took a heavy hit to the eco and has been catching up this entire time, as you'd expect when you're up against an opponent that builds 4 town centers. Admittedly reduced to 3 now, but 4 for most of that game. Now, last of the extension base is going to be gone. Ryan needs a game plan here. Sitting in your base is nice, but doesn't lend itself to winning. However, it is very nice. I got to say, like, it's quite nice when you just get to sit there and watch your opponent headbutt himself against the wall, randomly trying to ram your gates with trebuchets, which is not their intended use. Although I'm not sure that's going to keep happening for long with Ryan here. I don't think he's going to get that same opportunity soon. Because it's been realized, double trebuchet coming out, and this time, Corner Boy is going to stick to his morals. Stay in the corner. Knights are going to move in to give vision. Trebs are going to open fire. And it looks like that wall's going to be going down. And when it does, oh, you better be screaming Sacre Bleu. Because the French are coming. The French are coming. They're in. Humping their way to the backside where they're going to snipe out all the siege and the villagers. A massacre is occurring in Ryan's base. Spread out the Knights. Most of the siege down. Elephants baited to chase after them, but never able to reach them. It's a race with a fat kid right now, and the fat kid, as expected, is losing. He can't get across in time. Town center now being torched down, but plenty left to get through if this is the approach that Corner Boy wants to take. Goes deeper, looking for more. We'll get the scout, the lay of the land, to see the compound of the defender and the stables as well. And instead, chooses to target rocks. I'm not sure if he realized that wasn't a landmark. It's hard to tell at this point. Corner Boy has looked a little bit lost, but Doesn't look like he's going to be losing any more. Gets back in, gets the keep up, has the trebuchet, and a second wave of knights coming in. In the meantime, willing to trade out with the elephants who have to stand their ground. Poor elephants that will trade pretty damn well here, considering they have a man with a spear on top of them. If there's anything I've learned from Star Wars, it's that being on the high ground lends itself an advantage. They definitely have a high ground over these midget horsemen here. Little knights. They don't build them like they do in mythical worlds. No 10 feet tall stallions here. But unlimited stallions nonetheless, because they're breeding so much quicker, so many of them come out. And I love how after all this, like getting this deep into the game, Corner Boy seemingly still playing off of knights despite the fact that they never got their hands on the School of Cavalry. It's brilliant to me. But he's in. Elephants are gone, and folks, if I'm not mistaken, Ryan has enough for about 4 to 5 more elephants max. And he chooses to build 2 trebuchets. Why? Well, he has got a keep problem. I'll give him that. There is a lot of keeps that need to be addressed. However, I think it's fair to say that these numbers are not balanced right now. And one player can keep throwing crap at this. The other is crap out of luck. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to the Age of Empires 4 world our very own Corner Boy, who will take the win.